So I'm Jacqueline Chan, I'm chair, and I'm calling the meeting to order at 9:07 a.m. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Elizabeth, who's our secretary, who's going to do a roll call. She's going to go ahead and tell her name. Please just raise your hand for present, and then she's going to verify quorum. Okay?
Good morning, America Ellis, Marjon Lopez, Shelby Carswell, Jacqueline Chan, here, Consuelo Carranza,
Hello.
Marisela Cali, Elizabeth Alvarado, Melissa Dolo, Liza Galarza, Maria Tapia, Daria Stone, Sally Sackerson, Laura Levy, Erica Avery.
Great, so Elizabeth is confirming that we have quorum, and we have 3 school districts present. Awesome, thank you. So the next item is we're reviewing minutes from our last meeting. All board members should have a copy of the minutes from our last meeting and had a chance to review. Does anybody need more time to review minutes before we approve and second? Does anybody motion to approve the minutes as they stand? That's Marisela Cali is motioning to approve the minutes. Anybody second that motion? Elizabeth, thank you for saying your name. Are there any objections to the minutes? Okay, all in favor? Please say aye.
Aye.
All right, majority, so now the minutes are approved. Thank you for that. So we're gonna do a quick welcome. I believe, first of all, thank you to the public for showing up. We really appreciate you guys being here and being able to come and make public comment for us. So I'm gonna go ahead and hand the microphone down. I don't know if everybody caught everybody's name, but if you guys can say quickly your name, the district that you represent, and the role that you play, so that everybody kind of knows where everybody's from. So my name is Jacqueline Chan, I'm co-chair, and I'm a parent from San Ysidro School District.
Good morning, Erica Avery from Sweetwater Union High School District, special education teacher.
Hi, Darius Stone from Sweetwater High School. I'm also a teacher.
Hi, good morning. My name is Marisela Cali. I'm here to represent San Ysidro School District, and I am a special education teacher.
Good morning, I'm Sally Sackerson. I represent Sweetwater, and I am a substitute in Chula Vista. And my son is at Eastlake High School in the special ed department.
Good morning, my name is Elizabeth Alvarado. I am the parent representative for South Bay Union School District. My son attends Nicolov Elementary Special Ed.
Good morning, my name is Melissa Dolo. I am also a parent representative from South Bay Union School District. My daughter is in kindergarten at Imperial Beach Charter.
Good morning, I'm Shelby Carswell. I'm from National School District. I'm a special education teacher.
Okay, great. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. So today, the purpose of today's meeting is a CAC business meeting. And in our agenda today, we will be going over just a quick overview of the CAC roles and responsibilities. Just because we are a relatively new CAC board, just want to make sure that we have some ground rules there. The second is that we will talk about the CAC focus and goals for this school year. Then we'll do a debrief and finish our conversation on CAC communications. We'll be reviewing our upcoming meeting schedule for the remainder of the school year and then decide on CAC subcommittees. So as a reminder, this is a business meeting, and just wanted to go over some quick meeting norms that this is a public this is an opportunity for the public to come. We do have a public comment section that we'll be going to next, and that will be the time that the CAC will be able to hear from the public. All other times it will be during, it will be a CAC business meeting, and we hope to get through our agenda items for today. And so at this time, I do want to go to public comment. I'm going to be handing over the microphone to our co-chair, who will be calling up names of people who have filled out the public comment form. As a reminder, you will have 3 minutes to address the committee. Speakers should have filled it out beforehand. And just as a reminder, it is a comment section, and that the CAC at this time isn't able to respond to action or agreement, but we are able to take note of your comments and add it to a future agenda item or discuss it appropriately. So I'm going to hand it over to Erica to call it in.
Okay, so I have Tanya Peraza.
Right here.
Right here in the
I didn't
center.
even see where. The switch? Okay. On the very bottom. Yes.
Hi. Okay. It is working. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Thank you again for being here. And today I just want to touch 2 very important topics, which is CPI trainings for every staff member in every school, if possible. We can start some steps with maybe CPI trainings, at least for the aides, of course, teachers, principals, and the ideal will be for every staff member, even people from the cafeteria, security, to have CPI trainings, which is Crisis Prevention Institute, and they give amazing trainings. And I know, like, in some districts they do have these, but some districts don't. Like my district from San Isidro, not everybody has those trainings. Maybe only administrators or principals, but below that, nobody has those, and it's very important. So staff can actually know how to treat special education kids, and so we can avoid a lot of mistreatments in every school. And then another topic is for every principal in every school to know UDL, which is Universal Design Learning. This is a very important tool for every principal to have to apply. So every student, special education and general education, can arise and be successful. And for every school, so inclusion can be made in every school. And this is just a very important tool that every principal should know. And I hope you guys can make that happen, if it's possible, for you guys to request this. And also, like, I will give you an example. In my district, there's 4 elementaries, and one elementary, it's the one that it's marking the difference, right? So I recently knew that principal, Miss Erica, she was actually an aide. That was one of her first jobs. She was an aide of this amazing teacher. I don't know if you heard of her. I also recently learned about her, Miss Ponce, and I have heard great things about her now. So the principal was learning from Miss Ponce. That's why that school is so successful. So I think every principal should have this kind of tools. Thank you.
Well, I'm just gonna leave it like that.
Okay, it's okay. I think it's fine. All right, next person for public comment. Cindy Searman?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Cindy John. I have two children that have 504 plans, one at Eastlake High School and one at Eastlake Middle. And I just want to talk about a couple things that I'm hoping you guys will consider for future meetings. One, I think we touched on last time, was about the budget. Just if we could have one meeting specifically about budget. And I wanted to elaborate because I don't mean like a whole huge line items. That would be multiple hundreds of pages. I just mean something like maybe it's a Google Slides for like 3 slides for each district. Like I put something here for the 6, where you could see like San Ysidro's budget's this, National City's this, each one. And then like the main things that you budget for, I don't know, let's say it's transportation or speech therapy or how much is spent on one-on-one aids, just like, I want to say the highlights, just something. It doesn't have to be a huge overview. I mean, maybe that's something we can do in the years, but just for this year, I think it would help people, parents who are wanting that information, because it's really hard to find. I myself have tried to research in my own districts, and it's really hard to find that information. The other thing I wanted to bring up was that communication did improve for my children. I received several notices about the training in Sweetwater Union District, which is next week. So whatever they did there, that something improved, because I received it multiple times. And I think for both my kids this time, I was getting from Jupiter's and accounts. So I'm happy to see that, and including the 504 parents. And yeah, the last thing I wanted to talk about was it'd be nice to have some kind of forum for sharing good news. I mean, in addition to, parents need help, but also good news where all the districts can see. For example, like Eastlake High School started a new thing called the Titan Buddies thrift shop, and then Sally probably knows about that. And it's really cool. And I don't think people from, other than Eastlake High School know much about this program, and maybe it's because it's new, but it's a really cool new thing that I've seen, where I guess it's an organization, but it involves the special education students, or students with disabilities work at the thrift shop. It's like on Fridays for 2 or 3 hours. And then the benefits, the benefits of thrift shop will go to the students with disabilities. And there's a whole thing on Facebook about it on the Eastlake High School website. But it would be nice that I would like to see all the districts be able to have quick access to be like, hey, that's a cool idea. Maybe we can do that. So that's it.
Thank you. Next we have Summer Grievous.
Hi, good morning. Ooh, that's loud. I went ahead and prepared my thoughts. So I'll say good morning, parents and community members. My name is Summer Gerges. I am a CAC member of the San Diego Unified School District. I'm here today to promote CAC meetings as a place to gather community concerns and help advise systemic change for special education. Several years ago, as the parent of a child receiving IEP services, I was struggling to understand the special education system. Like many parents, I felt frustrated and spent many nights in tears. Why was it so hard to navigate? Additionally, I felt insecure and alone in my struggle. I knew that other parents were experiencing similar struggles, but wondered where were they? I also wondered if they had information that I did not. Through a series of district emails and robocalls, I was informed of our district's CAC and opted to attend. Today, I am the vice chair of our San Diego Unified School District CAC. Our CAC, like yours, is a parent-led organization that provides me with numerous opportunities to meet with other parents, hear public comment, listen to informative presentations, and have direct communication with the Department of Education, of Special Education, who always attend our meetings. Informative presentations have included topics such as the LCAP, the special education budget, transportation decisions, student safety, staff safety, behavior management, my child's rights, IEP timelines, graduation options, transition plans for children with an IEP, and due process. On occasion, we even have guest speakers, such as representatives from the Office of Civil Rights and local speaker Diana Pastora Carson. Our CAC group meets twice monthly in the evening to allow for school staff and working parents to attend. Our meetings are from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. with childcare and language interpretation provided. Although both meetings are public and available on Zoom, one meeting is designed as the general meeting and the other is designed for the executive committee to organize the general meeting and then decide how to advise the school board. We present to our school board, twice annually. Finally, my favorite part of our meetings are the public comments. Having the opportunity to listen to teachers and parents describe struggles and successes, and also ask for change and help, clarifies for me that my experiences are not singular, and that there is a need for community and communication with decision makers. Moreover, having our Department of Special Education staff on hand to address these issues with individuals and systemically provides optimism. It also enhances transparency and it builds the trust between our district and our community. All this to say that I wish for your community a similar opportunity. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you. Next for public comment, Roxanne Palestino.
Hello, my name is Roxanne Palestino. I'm a mother of 2 daughters with IEPs in the San Isidro School District. I first met Lisa Yegan, a dedicated advocate, special education teacher, and professor at USD, who had to go through a CDE complaint process to become a CAC member back in December of last year at a Selpas meeting. Since then, we became not only close allies, but good friends. Together, we began pushing for the CAC, connecting with parents, starting petitions, going to board meetings, and launching our own parent support group. Chula Vista will be appointing their members tonight at their board meeting. And from that point on, we've been unstoppable. Today, I'd like to start by congratulating Kenia Peraza on her well-deserved election win for the San Isidro School District Board. Congratulations, Ms. Peraza. We did it. We are all so fortunate to have you in this role, advocating for our children. But I also want to share a bit of my own experience, which I believe reflects some of the struggles in the San Isidro School District. One of my daughters has been through 9 separate IEP meetings, and yet her IEP remains unfinished. Every time there's a district lawyer present. I'm there as a parent with my advocate, Lisa, but it feels intimidated to be met by a lawyer, not just for us, but for the rest of the team. I'm not bringing in any legal representation. I'm simply seeking support. The district's choice to bring a lawyer, especially funded by special education resources, seems not only unfair, but wasteful. These funds could instead be going to fill critical needs. For example, more speech pathologists. There are schools with none, and we have teachers and staffs in need of CPI training. Our children are not getting the services they need because these resources are being stretched too thin. So I'm here to ask, what can be done to change this approach? How can we establish a policy to keep lawyers out of IEP meetings and make them more collaborative? What is the policy? We need to prioritize working together so our children can receive the education they deserve. Thank you. I asked for an extra minute to say it in Spanish for the parents to hear me. Is that possible? Thank you. Hola, mi nombre es Roxanne Palestino. Soy la madre de 2 hijas con IEPs en el Distrito Escolar de San Isidro. Conocí a Lisa Yegan, una maestra de educación especial y defensora dedicada y profesora en USD, que tuvo que meter una queja al CDE para convertirse en miembro del CAC en diciembre del año pasado, en una reunión de Selpas. Desde entonces nos hemos convertido no solo en aliadas cercanas, sino también en buenas amigas. Juntas comenzamos a presionar por el CAC, a conectarnos con los padres, a iniciar peticiones, a asistir a reuniones de la Junta de la Mesa Directiva y a lanzar nuestro propio grupo de apoyo para padres. Chulavista designará a los miembros esta noche en su reunión de la Junta y desde ese momento hemos sido imparables. Hoy me gustaría felicitar a Kenia Peraza por su merecida victoria electoral para la Junta de la Mesa Directiva de San Isidro. Felicidades, lo logramos, sí se pudo. Somos muy afortunadas de tenerla en este papel, defendiendo nuestros derechos y lo de nuestros niños. También quiero compartir un poco de mi propia experiencia, que creo que refleja algunas de las dificultades del Distrito Escolar de San Isidro. Una de mis hijas ha asistido a 9 reuniones de IEP separadas de más de 2 horas cada una y sin embargo su IEP sigue sin terminarse. Cada vez hay un abogado del distrito presente. Estoy ahí como padre, mi defensora Lisa, pero resulta intimidante que nos reciban un abogado, no solo para nosotros, sino para el resto del equipo. No llevo representación legal, simplemente busco apoyo. La decisión del distrito de traer un abogado, especialmente financiado por recursos de educación especial, parece no solo injusto, sino también un mal gasto de fondos de educación especial. Estos fondos podrían usarse para necesidades críticas, por ejemplo, más terapistas de lenguaje. Hay escuelas que no tienen ninguno y tenemos maestros y personal que necesitan capacitación de CPR. Nuestros niños no están recibiendo los servicios que necesitan, por estos fondos no están siendo usados correctamente. Por lo tanto, estoy aquí para preguntar qué se puede hacer para cambiar esto. ¿Cómo podemos establecer una póliza para mantener a los abogados fuera de las reuniones de IEP y hacer que sean más colaborativos? ¿Cuál es la póliza? Necesitamos priorizar el trabajo conjunto para que nuestros hijos puedan recibir la educación que merecen. Gracias.
Final public comment, Lisa Yeagan.
En español, por favor. Voy a hablar en español.
Buenas tardes, buenos días a todos. Gracias por venir y por apoyar a las familias del sur de San Diego.
I'm sorry, it's going to have to be consecutive, not simultaneous.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming and supporting the families of South Bay School District.
Hoy les voy a llevar en un viaje. Nos vamos a imaginar que hay un barco grande, bonito, que vale $105 millones.
I'm going to take you through a trip today. We're going to imagine we're traveling in a large ship that costs $105 million.
Para entrar a este barco necesita uno membresía, calificaciones, evaluaciones y permiso de los padres y de los administradores.
To get on the ship, you need a membership. You need evaluations, report cards, and permission from the parents and the administrators.
Ya estando en el barco, hay especialistas que dan servicios individualizados.
Once aboard the ship, there are specialists who give individualized services.
También hay un capitán que está encargado de monitorear y aconsejar y a guiar la velocidad, el rumbo y mantener las operaciones.
There's also a captain who's in charge of monitoring things and in charge of the speed and the direction and the operations of the ship.
Este capitán tiene también a otros capitanes y este capitán está dirigido por el gobierno.
This captain also has co-captains and he is subject to the government's direction.
Luego hay un malecón. En el malecón están todos los padres y también hay que quieren que suban sus hijos al barco.
There's a boardwalk on the shore and that's where all the parents are standing and they want their kids to get on the ship.
Cuando Cuando ya se va el barco, se ve que se está perdiendo el barco y la gente está viendo que el barco se va y los papás están aquí en el malecón viendo que sus hijos se van en el barco.
When the ship sails away, it seems like the ship is getting lost, and the parents are seeing their kids on the ship, seeing how they're sailing away.
Entonces el capitán dice, necesitamos unos padres que monitorean lo que está pasando en el barco.
The captain announces, we need some parents who can monitor what is going on in the ship.
También necesitamos maestros y que nos guíen, que nos digan cómo vamos a ir en el rumbo, cómo vamos a mantener operaciones, cómo vamos a mantener la velocidad.
We also need some teachers who will direct us on the travel, how we're going to maintain our route, how we're going to sustain operations, how we're going to keep the speed.
Y ahora aquí estamos con los maestros y los padres que tienen que monitorear el rumbo, la velocidad, la operación de un barco sin entrenamiento, sin conocer la marea, sin conocer cómo trabaja un barco.
And here we are with the teachers and the parents who have to monitor the speed and the direction and the operations of a ship without any training, without knowing the seas, without knowing how a ship functions.
Ustedes entienden lo que se ocupa aquí. Se ocupa mucha educación, se ocupa mucha colaboración. Necesitamos reunirnos, unirnos y necesitamos que todos entiendamos cómo se trabaja el barco.
You know what is needed here. We need a lot of education. We need to get together and talk and understand how the ship should be managed.
Gracias.
Thank you.
I was late. Is there any way that I can share my
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. That is
Oh,
all for
excuse me,
public
did you hear
comments.
me? I was late. I was wondering if I could have 3 minutes.
For the-
Hello? Ooh, okay. I feel like this isn't working. So we like for the public comments to be filled out before the meeting starts so that we can account for it. Do you have a piece of paper that is filled out?
There was
with your
only
name on
5
it?
pocket cards, so I wasn't able to fill it out for her. They said they'd bring some more out, but they didn't.
I'm fine with having 3 minutes as long as the board is fine with having 3 minutes. Okay. Yes, you're welcome to come up.
Sorry, I apologize.
Okay.
Thank you. So I'm actually gonna piggyback on what Miss Lisa just said. I was imagining the boat taking off and my son being in there. And she's right. I'm on the boardwalk. I can't see what's happening to my son. And in that boat, my son was assaulted by 2 teachers, different types. And it's my son's word against the captain's word. And this is the problem that we have. That the captain is a liar. And my child was 14 years old. He was shook around by one of the coaches one time in September last year. In December, he was slapped in the back for no reason by a teacher. And guess what? This ship has cameras. But the ship won't allow you to see those cameras. I wonder why. So even though we have these people on this ship taking care of our kids, they're not on our side. They're on the captain's side. Our kids don't matter. Whatever happens on that ship is kept quiet. I think we should set up our kids with cameras, recordings, and those should be allowed to be used in court because we have these captains that are liars. So why is it that they don't believe our kids? And then you know what they do? They interview their friends without their parents. And they brainwash these kids, they put words in their mouth, and all of a sudden these kids have these statements that aren't even true because they were coerced by the captain and his co-captains. So I think that we need to change some policies here. We need to be able to record. Our kids need to be able to record when they're going to be interviewed by anybody. And I think kids should not be interviewed by administrators without a parent consent and without a recording, especially when it's about physical abuse by a teacher. I've been waiting close to a year now, and FERPA is also looking into getting this video footage that the Hilltop Middle School won't allow me to have. So I'm happy that we have this group of parents that are going to support us, but I've already been waiting a year, you guys. I need to see this recording. I need help. My child, like I said, was assaulted twice, and nobody does anything about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to the public for all your comments. I did want to mention, I forgot when we did introductions, that we do have some ex facto members in the room. Can you raise your hand just so that people can know who from the district is here? Sorry, you're gonna have to say.
Hi, my name is Rick Quintana. I'm a lead school psychologist for San Isidro School District.
Thank you, Rick, for being here.
Diana Lynn, Program Administrator for the South County Selpas.
Great, thank you.
I'm Dan Smirniotis. I'm a Program Manager for the Sweetwater Special Services Department.
Thank you. All right, I think that covers everyone. Great, so I'm gonna go ahead, hopefully this mic works, and I will go ahead and put this mic down for the, on this side? I should be this. That's all right. Okay, so we're moving into the CAC business portion of the meeting. We'll go ahead and start with a quick overview of the roles and responsibilities as listed in the education code. So this is hopefully a review for many of you guys, but just wanted to make sure that we're starting off with this. Can you guys all see that? That should be a good question. Okay. So according to Ed Code, we have some core responsibilities, right? We're a mix of parents and educators representing our district. And so a few things just listed here is advising on policy, recommending annual priorities, assisting in parent education, encouraging community involvement, supporting activities on behalf of individuals with exceptional needs, assisting in parent awareness for the importance of school attendance, and supporting community involvement. So this is all listed in our education code and also included in our CAC bylaws. As a reminder, the goals for the CAC, which very much aligns with what's listed in Ed Code, is to provide a support group for parents and students, provide an opportunity to talk with professionals who work with those with special needs, increase awareness of available service options, increase awareness of regular school attendance, encourage community involvement in the development and review of the local plan, provide parent education, support activities on behalf of children with special needs, and provide an open forum of discussion. So as you can see, our goals are very much aligned with what's listed in education code. For this school year, as we are establishing our CAC, my hope is that we can at least focus on two things. Mainly because that's a lot of responsibilities that are listed. It's kind of hard to remember them all, even though they're all important, but to focus on two things. One, parent engagement, and second, student inclusion. So in everything that we do, if we can answer the question, how do we engage our parents? And how do we make sure our students are included? I think that'll allow us to really hit all the goals and things that are listed in the bylaws. Just two things to keep in mind in everything that we do. Last meeting, we started to talk about communications. So one thing is, I just wanted to remind each CAC member, I know it was a few weeks ago, I don't know if everybody's been able to have a chance, but just a reminder that each CAC member needs to establish a regular connection with someone in the special education department of the respective district to determine best ways to promote resources to parents. If you haven't done that, please, please, please do so. We heard from the public that it has, we think it's made an impact, but just continue to do so and remind it. It's one of the reasons why that we're here. The second thing that I want to mention for communications. Later on in the agenda, we'll be talking about CAC subcommittees. And one of those will hopefully be related to parent education. In order to get us moving forward, I started to put this question together of what special education topics would parents like to learn more about. We've heard a lot of topics coming from public comment, which I think is great. A few of these are listed here. Our hope is to put this on the Selpas website for people to react to so that we can prioritize. I feel like we can all argue that all of these are probably important or things that we've heard people ask for, but getting additional input from the public will be helpful so that we can shape our education opportunities accordingly. Any questions before I move on from the board? No? Okay, great. Okay, meeting schedule update. So we're a relatively new group, and I think it's really helpful when we all get together. And the original proposed times, I don't think was enough for us to make progress for this year. Everybody is nodding. Thank you. So what I'm proposing, and we will need to take action on as a board, is a meeting update. So what you'll see on the left-hand side is a current schedule, which had our July meeting, our October meeting, our November meeting, and then our January and April. All of those that are listed on the website. And on the left side, you'll see a proposed schedule. All of our past meetings are in gray. Sorry, there's all this color coding. With additional meetings. So the first thing that you'll see is that I've actually proposed for the meeting times to be from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. One reason is because we've heard that the teachers who are here in the district get sub coverage up until 11:30. And so moving the meeting up allows for us to get representation and input from teachers. So that's kind of one big thing, which is why all the times are in blue. They moved up in time. The second thing that I'm doing is I'm proposing to add 3 additional meetings, which are also the ones in blue. So right now we have a January meeting. I'm proposing to add a March meeting. We had an April meeting. I'm proposing to have a May meeting. And then I'm also proposing to at least have one scheduled for the new school year in July so that it's on the calendar so everybody knows. My hope is that when we establish the subcommittees, which is going to happen next, that we'll have an opportunity to hear from the subcommittees on what they're proposing, and that getting together will allow us to take steps forward so that we can see progress. So I'm just going to ask if there's any additional comment from the CAC board before we motion to approve this new schedule.
I just wanted to say, I think Summer mentioned the meetings are at 6 p.m. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's okay. I just want to make sure everyone can hear.
Can you hear me? Okay. I'm just wondering if maybe we can propose at least one meeting to be held in the evening, or 2. Since other districts are doing that, I think it could be helpful to parents who are working and can't attend the meeting in person. Okay, I love that idea. Let's see if we can. I'm going to arbitrarily pick March and May. That is completely random, but will allow for people to at least have an evening option. So Melissa, if you can take note of that, that will be
updating that.
March and May.
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't have.
They're on Thursday.
Any other comments? Thank you, Melissa, for that input. I
Lunch with the
appreciate
board
it.
meetings.
So,
So
evenings will be what time?
They do it on purpose.
6 to 8 is the proposed time. And I think that's helpful, and we'll see what attendance and progress looks like. It's a great idea to change it up. Okay. So with the proposed changes of having a 6 to 8 p.m. option for the March and May meeting, is there anyone who is motioning to approve this updated meeting schedule?
Yeah, she is.
Can you say your name, please? America, thank you. America is doing the first motion. Anyone second that motion? Okay, and that is Elizabeth is seconding that motion. Any objections? Okay, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Okay, great, thank you. So these will be the times and dates for our future CAC meetings. I'll be working with the Selpa to confirm space and location. Because there are times change, I have to make sure that the updated dates are there too. So thank you, I appreciate it. Okay. Great. Subcommittee time. So we're a big group and I love it. I love seeing the action here. And I think the best use of our time, and also to mirror what a lot of other CACs are doing, is to break us up into subcommittees. All of you guys have great experience and can provide input and can focus on certain areas that you may be passionate about, or certain areas that you might be able to dive deep into. So right now I'm proposing 4 subcommittees. It's really to get us started. The subcommittees do not need to stay year after year. This is a starting point for us all. So the first is parent education. We've heard a lot. How do we educate our parents? How do we educate our parents? So the first is parent education. The second is community involvement. Engagement is looking great right now. How do we get more? How do we get input so that when it comes time to our board advising the local plan, how do we make sure that we've gotten as much community involvement and engagement as we can? The third is special education student inclusion. We heard from a student who was talking about Titan Buddies. I know that San Ysidro, they have Dragon Buddies, that's fine. These are great things. What are these schools doing? How are they successful? How do we share best practices across to encourage student inclusion? So that's subcommittee number 3. And then the fourth is Selpas CAC handbook. So in doing some research, I know some of our Selpas have a CAC handbook that can be handed to parents that kind of walks them through, how the Selpa can help them, what resources are available. And so just starting to get that in motion. What are the components of that handbook? How do we get things in there? How is that shared broadly? So these are 4 subcommittees that can help us to get started. I would love to get the board's reaction to the subcommittees. Are there subcommittees that you feel, are there additional subcommittees that you feel we need to have? Knowing that we are currently a seated board of 14. I know that Chula Vista is deciding on their vacant board members, but we will have quite a large group. So one is, are there, well, I guess I'll get your reaction first to any of the board members. See if that works.
I was just wondering if the parent education could also include the trainings. I know the audience had a lot of thoughts on trainings, so I think that could be really helpful for the education and training to kind of be combined, or maybe have a separate committee that's focusing on trainings for the staff and administration.
Yeah, so we could make that staff and parent education. So that would be. Would you like to comment?
Sorry, I think it should be separate.
Yes, there's a lot. I think there's a lot. So
I think
she was mentioning a separate one for parent education and then a separate one for the trainings.
Yes, I love that idea. So with 5 committees is what we're talking about, and adding a staff training. I see heads nodding. Okay. So because these are actual subcommittees, I'm gonna ask for you guys to vote. So if someone can motion to have these 5 subcommittees, which includes staff training. Someone can please do a first motion for that. Melissa is doing the first motion for that. Is anybody second that motion?
I second it.
Elizabeth, thank you for seconding that motion. Any objections? No, great. All right, we officially have 5 subcommittees. Thank you. Here's the fun part. How do we form the subcommittees? So the subcommittees, just to make sure that we are doing so in a balanced way, we've been asked for the subcommittees to not have majority and also to not have quorum. And a lot of that has to do with, we want to make sure that whatever the subcommittees create, that you can still come back to the board and have the board approve any of the things that are created within that subcommittee. And so, I guess I have not thought through how to decide on subcommittees that you want to sit on. If you guys have ideas, that would be great. I don't know if you guys want to decide now which subcommittee you would like to sit on. If you guys have thoughts. Yes. Can we be in more than one? Okay, so the board members can be on more than one subcommittee. Just know that that means more time, which is not a bad thing, but I know that some people have just things to think about. So you can be more than one subcommittee. What I will be asking for our next meeting, just so that you guys know, is that there needs to be a lead for the subcommittee. Someone who is going to speak on behalf of the group, is going to be kind of accountable for the things that the subcommittee is deciding to do. The second thing is to create a brief description of the subcommittee. So we are the CAC board. We're establishing a subcommittee. What do you feel is within scope of your subcommittee? That should be shared with this board so that we can all agree to it. And the third thing is to make sure you have at least one measurable goal, right? So I don't want you guys to create a subcommittee and then you guys just get together and chat. Let's make sure that we have very actionable things that are coming out of the subcommittee for this year, and then we can decide on if those subcommittees continue on for the next year to continue that work. America, you had a...
I do. Is there a way to summarize the subcommittee and get this information over to the new CAC members?
Yeah,
So
sorry, I'm in the
Yes.
ways
Thank
when they
you.
come back, they're not starting from scratch.
Yes.
Yeah. There can be some kind of movement towards it versus waiting until like.
January. Okay, so for those who didn't get to hear, she was asking if there's a way that we can get summaries of the subcommittees we sent to those who may be joining us for the next meeting so that we don't lose traction. And my answer was yes, we absolutely should. If we form our subcommittees today, which I believe that we have time to with the people that are here, then we can, we're gonna say something, Daria.
I think if we form our subcommittees today partially and then wait for our new members to come to choose the leads of those subcommittees, I think that could be ideal. I think we might all have some preferences on which subcommittee we want to be on, so maybe we can get that started today.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. I would
I wouldn't want to decide on these today because I know that there are members who are not present, even here today. Would it be possible for you guys to go down the list to decide which subcommittee that you want? And then Melissa, you can know which ones. And then we can look and make sure that there's not quorum in any of those groups. Would that be fair? I'm also proposing, Erica, that neither you nor I as chair and co-chair lead or sit on a subcommittee. And the reason being is because we are tiebreakers if there's anything that happens. I do feel like the subcommittees should come to us with questions and be able to have discussions with Erica or I as chair and co-chair so that we can guide you before it gets in front of the board. But I just feel like Erica and I would be best suited if we're not in the discussion and that we're here to hear you guys out. Okay? Daria, I'm gonna hand it to you and you can mention which subcommittee you'd like to be on.
My first choice would be the special education student inclusion, and my second choice would be parent training, or parent education.
Hi, my name is Maricela Cala.
Daria Stone, like Maria, but with a D. Okay. The special education student inclusion one is my first choice, and parent training would be my second.
She has a list of the districts, so that'll be good.
Okay, so my name is Maricela Cali. I would like to do the staff training as my first choice, and my second choice will be the special education inclusion.
I have a question. The parent education, what does that entail? Okay, got it. Right now, I would like to do the inclusion, special education student inclusion. Oh, I'm Sally.
You can say yours first, and then we can come back.
Yeah, that's, I'm debating on how to go.
And I'm wanting to do them all. I feel strongly about parent education / community involvement, integrating the children, if that makes sense. And those are my two. Question.
Can you repeat the first option again?
So parent education, community involvement are my top two. And I had a question regarding the CAC handbook. Would this be an electronically type, are we gonna be able to offer it electronically, or is it gonna be?
That's going to be up to each subcommittee to decide. That would be my guidance.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi, I'm gonna go with community involvement for the first one for me. This is Melissa. And I will do the handbook as well. Okay.
I think my first choice would be the special education student inclusion, and my second choice would be community involvement.
My first one would be community involvement, and second, parent education.
So I think I was making a mistake. So my second choice is not parent education. My second choice would be the training. So I was thinking it was parent training and staff training. No, just staff training. Okay, then the staff training. For second, please.
There's only four.
Sally, second would be community involvement.
So I'm looking at the options here. Okay. Well, here's the thing, what might make sense is similar to what Daria mentioned, is we kind of need to wait and see what others are involved in or are interested in. Before we move forward on actually forming the subcommittee. Is that right? Okay. So here's what I'm going to propose, but you guys can propose otherwise. We'll need to send out the description of all the, or the description. We'll need to send out the names of all of the subcommittees to our entire CAC board. We will ask them which subcommittee they prefer to sit on, get options 1 and 2. And that'll all have to be done via email. And then when we come back in January, that'll be the confirmation of everybody getting together. I'm trying to think if there's a way that we can make progress.
I think waiting 2 months, I think it's too much. I think we can, if allowed by bylaws, we could kind of form them via email. And then that way when we come back, you already know what subcommittee you sit on. And at that point,
You would have met.
can bring, if we don't meet, at least bring one action item that we want to work on, because if not, we're losing 2 months.
I agree.
And it's just like it's not the best use of time.
So we'll have to send out an email later today and to have subcommittees formed by,
Let's say mid-December.
That sounds
And then we have 1 month.
I'm gonna look at a
Next
date.
meeting to get together virtually or whatever way is easiest, and come back with an action item.
Okay, so, in the email that, I guess you and I will have to debrief. Okay. Erica and I will work on an email that gets sent out to the entire board to let them know about the subcommittees. I don't like sniffling into the microphone. We will ask for everybody to select a subcommittee, I'm gonna say by December 6th. And then Erica and I will look at the list to group everybody in their first or second options. And then we'll have an email out to each of the board members with their subcommittee formation by December 13th. That gives us a week. With the action item for each subcommittee to get together and decide on one action item for their subcommittee to bring to the board by January 23rd, which is our next meeting.
Can we choose an action item and the lead before the January meeting? That way we can present at the January meeting.
Yes, thank you, so that we can make progress. So that means that on the January 23rd meeting, the agenda will include an update from each subcommittee, and that each subcommittee will have selected a lead and decided on an action item that they will work on. Does that sound good?
And a measurable goal.
Thank you. And then we'll say you're taking notes, you capture all of that, and then Erica has notes so that we can get the subcommittee together. Okay. Great. I appreciate everybody's input on forming subcommittees and getting ideas together. Are there any other comments from the board related to subcommittees? Okay. I believe that takes us to the end of the agenda, which is amazing, guys. Any other comment in general from the board? Comments, questions from the board? Yes.
Unless I miss it, but, so I know our action item was to kind of go back, meet someone, trying to get our point of contact. So what point are we getting that back to us, so we can actually send out? So it's available for people, because it's great if I know who the person is, but like, it needs to go down for someone to be able to go somewhere and look it up.
To look up things that are happening with Selpa that go to the district. Okay.
Like if someone wants to know who do I direct my questions for special ed for my district, can we put a document together now that each one of us knows?
As a contact? Yes. I'm curious if that goes with the community involvement committee to collect all that information. Let us.
Because you see, it's great that I know, like.
Yeah, I hear you.
What does it benefit other people if I know?
Yeah, and so our goal is to get a special education contact, which is one of our action items, to be accessible somewhere for the public to go to. Correct. I think you're right, it all has to be in one document. But I think the location of where that document is still something that has to be decided. Would you agree with that? Or do you think it just needs to go on the Selpa website?
Well, I think if it's possible, it would be great to be accessible, like the same way that they can go and look up resources of other kind.
Yeah.
You know, if it's, I would love to be able to just go and click something,
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, this is the person that I can call.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at maybe people that are barely transitioning into the district, they're coming from regional, and it's also good resources for other organizations like regional, if someone is, you know, great, trying to PK, they can go, like, you need to call this person.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like there's two places that I would automatically want to put that in. One is I would love that to be part of our CAC handbook, right? A list of resources in the back that people can access. The second is I feel like our community involvement subcommittee can decide on what's the best place to put that. Because I can say we can put it on the website, but I will tell you as a special needs parent, when I got put into the district, the Selpa website honestly wasn't the first place I would look, right? And so I would love to put that resource out somewhere where I feel like parents can access it, or that's where they're going to. So maybe let's start with this. I would love for everybody who has collected their contact information from their district, because that was an action item, to send that to myself. Everybody on the board should have my email address. Include Erica, who's our co-chair, and include Elizabeth, who's our secretary, so that we can compile one document that has that information. And then we as a officer group will decide on where it makes sense to hand it off. Does that make sense? Okay. It's like we can just get the cards right now. It looks like you're taking them on. Okay, great. Thank you for following up on that. Any other comments or questions? Yes. Me and Elizabeth are going to a community and health awareness fair today, and we were discussing if parents come up to us and we're talking about our goals, how do we communicate with them? Like, how can they reach us? So I know, I think in the last meeting we discussed like having a generic email address, but we're very excited to talk with parents and get their feedback and communicate with them. But I believe we're not supposed to be sharing our personal information. So we just want to be able to kind of communicate with them and get whatever information or questions they have. I don't know if we can discuss that today. Yes, they should be able to. I would encourage for the families that you meet, to let them know about our meetings, so that they can come to them. Because we don't have an email address for the CAC, quite yet. We're still trying to figure out where that sits. So something you and I can talk about. From parent to parent, you guys are welcome to share your personal information, right? As parent to parent. Not everybody on the board wants their contact information out for everybody to access for multiple reasons. And so if you are comfortable with sharing that, that's great. Right now, what I can share is to come to our meetings, and to speak with you guys on things that you can bring to the meeting. Any other comments or questions from the board? Well, we're all together. Okay. I will adjourn the meeting at 10:13 a.m. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Have a great one, everybody. Thank you all for being here.
Shame.
Shame. 3 minutes. Oh, I know, 2 weeks. Because she applied for her district.
Yes.
And they should already appointed someone. So I'm like, let's go to her board meeting.
It's tonight. It's tonight, right?
Probably in November they're gonna appoint.
Is it tonight?
They're gonna put someone in
Coronado,
Coronado.
right?
What?
Coronado?
Coronado.
But is it tonight, the board meeting?
We don't.
Is it tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow. We had it, right?
The agenda.
I think I have them on my phone. I might not have it on here. Muchas gracias. Llegué a la casa y les iba a bajar para aquí. Ya sabes, pero bueno, está bueno.
Yeah.
Tonight is the national.
Oh, you will go?
And the Chula Vista board meeting.
I'm sure you're right. I just don't know why that's not coming to the calendar. Tomorrow night is ours.
Coronado board meeting.
And Coronado and Sweetwater.
Coronado is
Thursday? We need to write this down. Yeah, it's tomorrow, Erica. Right?
What?
Coronado?
Coronado 21st.
We should go to hers. Wait, I know, I want to go to her.
I want to go to her.
I know, but don't come tomorrow. Now that you guys are getting your. Hold on. I'm like, wait, we're still not doing that. Wait, this is coming together better than ours is coming together.
No. I think, should I cut it out?
Oh, yeah.
Let me see.
Maybe
Wednesday? I'll drive. I'm driving.